Imagine that you are 18 years old. You're fresh out of high school with your whole life ahead of you. You want to go to college to become an accountant. There's one problem. How will you pay for college? Your parents certainly won't, nor do they have the means to, and your job as a busboy will hardly contribute to the daunting cost of college. So you enlist in the Navy, convinced that you can take college courses while serving in the Navy. While things do not go according to plan, you still end up getting a full ride to college after 4 years of traveling all over the world while serving with the Navy. Hi, I'm Will Mills. This is what my dad went through in the 1980s, and this is his story. So after high school, you went into the Navy. Why did you choose the Navy?
Well, there was a recruiter who came to our high school during lunchtime and spoke with him, and he talked about that you could join the Navy and attend college at the same time. And that was very interesting to me. My family was very limited resources. There was no way we could pay. So I thought, wow, I could go to college and join the Navy, and they would pay for it. But turns out that the only way we could do that is if you could get based on shore duty, and they put me on a boat.
When did you join?
I joined the Navy in December 1983.
So then you went to boot camp?
I went to boot camp for 8 weeks. So it straddled the Christmas and New Year's, and we also spent Super Bowl Sunday at boot camp.
Did they let you watch it?
Got to watch it for the first half, but then one of our leaders was a Washington Redskins fan, and the Oakland Raiders were killing the Redskins that day, and he got mad, and we didn't get to watch the second half.
Would you say that boot camp was tough?
Boot camp was very tough. On the third day, I called home crying, and I wanted to quit. It was very demanding. The instructors would get in your face and yell and scream and make threats and make you do things you've never done before. You're around people people from all over the United States, people I've never met or dealt with before. So it was very, very challenging.
So once you finished boot camp, were they like, hey, go to this base or go be on this ship?
No, I took college prep classes in high school, but just like I said, my family couldn't afford it. So, but I scored very high on their aptitude tests, so I got to go to a training school right out of boot camp. Now, everyone goes to some sort of training school, and so I went to dispersing clerk school.
Was it tough adjusting to life in the Navy?
It was tough because, again, with getting to know people from all across the United States, people from different walks of life, that's one of the toughest things. And then also getting used to the life and the demands and following orders, strict orders, and doing sometimes difficult things like cleaning bathrooms.
What ship did you serve on?
USS Connolly, it was a destroyer.
What did a normal day look like for you while you were serving?
A normal day is that you would start out, get up around 7 a.m., they serve breakfast, and then you would go to your place of work on the ship. For me, there was an office where we would work on payroll records or handle travel claims. You get lunch and dinner, but also you always had to stand some sort of watch in some way or fashion. Sometimes there'd be a mid-watch over the midnight hours. And then at night, after dinner, you get to go to your berthing area and watch a movie or play cards.
Was there ever a time when your ship fired shots outside of training?
Yes, when we were in the Persian Gulf, we were, and this was in the 1980s, before the USS Cole tragedy.
In 2000, a destroyer called the USS Cole was attacked by two Al-Qaeda terrorists. The terrorists sailed up to the port side of the ship and created a large hole inside by detonating hundreds of pounds of explosives from a small boat. Their boat was similar to a fishing boat that was sailing towards my dad's destroyer in the Persian Gulf.
We were sailing in the Persian Gulf and, near Bahrain, and we were a fishing boat was sailing towards us, and we got on a loudspeaker and gave them several warnings. But obviously, they probably didn't understand English. But one time we told them, uh, "You either change your course, or we'll change it for you." And they kept sailing towards us, and so we had a machine gun turret right near the bridge, and someone hopped on that and started firing shots near the fishing boat. They didn't destroy it; they could have, and it quickly changed course.
Where did you serve?
We went to the Caribbean, and including we made stops at Gitmo, where the terrorist jail is these days. We went I sailed across the Atlantic 2 times, and we spent a good amount of time for a 6-month cruises over in the Mediterranean and the Persian Gulf. And our home port was in Norfolk, Virginia, but we stopped in countries like Egypt, Spain, France, Morocco.
What was the most memorable place you visited?
We stopped in a place in the south of France called Cavalier, and it was absolutely the southern France is absolutely beautiful. And we were there in July, and this was a few weeks before Bastille Day, which is a big holiday for them. But they had a big celebration for us, and they had a big cookout on the beach, and the whole town came down and cooked us a meal and threw us a party. And there was fireworks, and it was just an amazing night, a night I'll never forget.
Were you expecting that?
No, no, it was, we were kind of suspect of what we were going to find. They said they were going to throw this party, and we thought it might be a little bogus, but it turned out to be just unbelievable time.
What was the worst?
The worst place we visited were many ports along the Persian Gulf. Alcohol is not allowed in certain Arabian countries, especially Saudi Arabia, and there is not many tourist sites. Just was not much to do over in that area.
When you were in the Navy, the Cold War with the Soviet Union was still going on. Did that ever really affect you at all?
No, we didn't really have much impact. I remember we saw a Russian ship one time. We pulled in some port, I forget where it was, and we saw a Russian ship, but we never had any interactions with Russia or any communism.
Why did you leave the Navy?
I left the Navy because I was motivated to get a college degree, and I knew that wasn't going to happen while I was enlisted, and I had cleaned enough toilets in over 4 years and gotten berated by enough officers where I was ready to move on.
What did you do afterwards?
Afterwards, I enrolled in Millersville University. The biggest surprise is that when I got my tuition bill in the state of Pennsylvania at that time, I got an 80% discount off my bill. And plus then I also had some GI Bill credits, and so literally my entire college education was paid for.
Did you ever miss it?
I missed the Navy, I missed my friends that I made, and I missed the travel and all the beautiful beaches and sights that we saw. Beautiful beaches in the Caribbean and St. Thomas and St. Croix and in Jamaica and then in France, and we get to see beautiful places in Spain, Italy. I miss the travel and the people on the ship and just the beautiful sights when you're out in the ocean in the middle of nowhere.
Would you say it was a good experience for you?
It was a good experience because I was not 100% sure what I wanted to do. My family had limited means, so there was not a way for me to go to college, and it's definitely a good way if you're not sure what you want to do and you want to get trained in something, and plus you want to see the world.
Would you recommend the Navy for anybody?
I would recommend it for most people if they're someone who's well adjusted and can handle stressful circumstances and you can feel it and become part of the melting pot and get along with people, I would recommend the Navy.
Well, it looks like this podcast has come to a close. Again, this is Will Mills, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my dad and his experiences in the United States Navy. Thanks for watching and have a great day.